Inside of the pages folder, create a new file, call it tag.php. And inside of this file, we're going to start with require once, and we're going to require header and footer. So header.php, then copy the entire thing and request the footer. Now let's create the heading h1, apply tags to the image, and we put here name of the image. So to get the name of the image and all the other parameters, first of all, we're going to check if is set, and we're looking at URL parameters of get ID. And if it's set, we have the closing bracket is going to be after the closing, after the require once footer. And all this will be included inside of the statement. I'm going to close the file browser because we're going to need a little bit more space here. So if it's been set, then we create the variable called ID, and we assign the value of this get ID parameter. Now we create the instance of the database class, so object DB, new dbase, and now SQL statement, select all from table images, where ID equals question mark and record equals object DB, get one, we pass in a SQL and we pass in the parameter which is ID of the specific record. Now we check if is an empty record, that means the record has been found. Again, we've got opening curly bracket, we scroll right to the bottom and we add another one after this one, because if record hasn't been found, we won't display anything. So if the ID isn't set or record isn't found, the page will be blank. So we have if is an empty record, and we start with image dir for image directory, which will be ds, starting with the / in case of Mac and Linux, and on the Windows obviously it's going to be \. Then we have images large dir.ds.record image. So this is going to be the path with the image name, which will be placed inside of the image tag. Then we have image path, which will be images large path.ds, again record image. Okay, so we have a directory and image. Now we're going to get the width equals image and a new method called size. And we're going to get the image path as parameter, as first parameter. And what we want to get is width. So it's going to be W parameter, the second one. And then we want to get height. So it's going to be H and height variable. So let's open our image class. If we open our image class and create this new method called size, public static function size. It will take two parameters. First one is a file equals null, and index, which equals null by default as well. Now if check if is file, that means the file obviously has been found. Then we do a list, and the first one will be width, second one will be height, third one will be type, and fourth one will be attributes. And that equals get image size of the image provided as the first parameter. Again, I'm going to close this browser. Now we did the switch statement. So switch index, and we check case W break. So we return the first value, which is the width. Then we'll have height. So case H break and return height. Then we have case T for type, return. I'm going to copy this type, and the default will return all of the attributes. So width and height. Obviously we have to return it. So Okay, so our size method inside of the image class is now completed. You can close the file, and let's move to the next video when we continue with our tag.php file.